check out this Penne Rosa. We got our plant meatballs, we got protein packed in the sauce, protein packed noodles, and it is chock full of nice, warm, roasted vegetables, mushrooms, tomatoes, and a creamy sauce. What more could you want? Come on in and we'll make it together. Hey, welcome in everybody. Today we are going to be making a Penne Rosa, which is super special to me because I used to sell so many Penne Rosas at my restaurant, and I always wished that we could have a healthier version, that we can have one with more vegetables, organic produce, one with no cream, like no dairy, no meat, and more protein. So this is exactly that. This is a recipe that you can whip up within half hour at most. And something that's going to be very filling because we're going to be using two different sources of plant-based protein as our main protein, and then we're going to be using tofu instead of the dairy. So this is one of my favorite things to do, is to take dishes that normally you would get at a restaurant or normally you would get out that have dairy in them, and just by making a couple swaps, you can make it so much more healthy, you can make it so much better for you, more nutritious, use local produce, and make the dish so much better. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Our first step is obviously to continue chopping up these tomatoes and then the mushrooms. Alright, so we have our oven preheating, we have the tomatoes all cut and ready to go, we have the mushrooms all cut up and ready to go, and we're just going to top them with salt and pepper. If you are trying to use less salt, obviously do that. Alright, so we've got our oven preheating, we have our tomatoes cut, our mushrooms cut. I already added some salt and just need a little bit of pepper, and then this can go in the oven. Both these veggies are going to make a lot of liquid, so keep an eye on those and get them roasting. Alright, we got the veggies in the oven, and now I just want to talk to you about protein. So my protein of choice is these plant balls from IKEA. IKEA has many different kinds of vegan things. Definitely check them out. This whole bag was $6? $7? But for 5 meatballs, it's 210 calories and 9 grams of protein, and you get 30 in there total. So you get a really good amount of meatballs, a big portion of meatballs, and you will not miss the meat. They're better than regular meatballs. The other important item to talk about is our noodles. I do have, let me show you, some regular Barilla noodles. So this is an option. Your regular white noodles, these are the bronzo kind, which are organic and a little bit better. However, if you're wanting to add some protein into your dish, again, 25 grams of plant protein for 3.5 ounce serving. So you can get a lot of protein in by using these lentil noodles. They also have chickpea noodles as well. So we're doubling down on the protein. And then one more item. We're going to be putting silken tofu in our rosa sauce. So that's another way we are getting more protein. So for, let's see, it says 1/5 of this is 4 grams of protein. We're going to be using the whole block because we're going to be using a whole can of tomato sauce. So a lot of options to make it higher protein, a lot of options to make it healthier, a lot of options to remove the dairy instead of the cream, to use this silken tofu. So there's many different ways you can customize your dish, so these are just a few ideas. Alright, so the next step is making our sauce. So this is crushed tomatoes, basil. This is going to be the starter sauce. I was going to use an onion, but it's one of those days where you think you have the ingredients and you really don't, and the onion was not good. So we'll make do with what we have. I think putting an onion in there would have been great to start off, but it is what it is. So we'll get that started heating up. Add a little bit of garlic. And I just got this huge thing of garlic, so this is going to last me a very long time. Make sure the kitchen smells wonderful, which is always good too. Alright, and then we are going to be putting in the silken tofu. So if you don't know, tofu comes in different varieties, of course. There's some tofu that comes already cooked, like already baked, and then there's tofu like the silken tofu, where you might see, I want to say firm or extra firm. So the silken is going to be the softest, and it's kind of like a jelly-like consistency. And you can use this for smoothies. You can use this to make, I made like kind of ice creams before. I'm going to use my whole block. So again, adding more protein. Now the next step is going to be adding a lot of flavor. So we're going to put in there nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is really good for making things taste cheesy. Gives it that umami flavor. Yes, I'm searching around for my measuring spoon. I should have come prepared, but you know, it's one of those days. So we're going to be doing 2 heaping tablespoons nutritional yeast, because I love nutritional yeast. And then we need onion powder, maybe some garlic powder. I'll taste it and see how it tastes. And Italian seasoning. We're gonna do 3 Italian seasonings. And the thing with a lot of these proteins, guys, that are vegan is you can make them taste like anything. It's just like a blank canvas. So whether it's TVP, whether it's tofu, whether it's seitan, flavor it how you would like, and it magically takes over that flavor. Just like chicken, it doesn't have too much flavor on its own, but when you add seasonings, spices to it, you know, that's really what makes the dish. I'm gonna do like a half tablespoon of the garlic powder. Onion powder. Do an even, have it. So, don't have it to show you. Use onion powder. We're just going to do salt. Now let this cook down, and we'll give it a taste. I was doubting myself. I should not have. This tastes insanely amazing. Just add some more salt in there, and then I'm just using this potato masher to break up some of the clumps from the tofu. And then we are just going to taste as we go. Let it hang out, let all the flavors come together. And then, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Alright, cool. So, let's get a pot started for the noodles, because the sauce will be done before you know it. I'm going to get the pot going, get that boiling, and get the noodles in. Alright, so I'm just checking on my veggies as everything else is starting. These mushrooms look pretty daggone good. I might give them They are so good. Holy cow. And then these tomatoes are definitely going to take more time. They're putting out a lot more water, so trying to spread these out a little bit more. No, I was going to say, no, I can't really feel that. I did for a second, the heat from that pan. And these tomatoes, but yeah, these tomatoes are going to need a lot more time. Let's put the meatballs in. Don't know if I said that, but again, we will be getting those noodles started and putting this dish together. Alright, while everything is going, I forgot to tell you the important step as well, which is just putting in some frozen spinach. You can of course use spinach that's fresh, but the original recipe called for spinach that I'm trying to replicate, so that's what we're going to be doing. Adding that in and continue to let everything cook down. Alright, so I just got the mushrooms out of the oven and they are insanely good. I'm trying not to eat them. I have our handy dandy blender, immersion blender. We're just going to blend up the sauce. But first, we have a friend here. Simba. Simba. You can see he is waiting on his treats. So we will give Simba his treats. No, they are not vegan because Simba is not a vegan cat. I can turn it. He is patiently waiting, so we will give Simba his treats. Very important step to cooking, of course, is to give Simba his treats. So, back at it. We are going to be blending this up. Sauce if I ever saw one. It's wonderful. Pop that attachment off and give it a taste. See how those flavors are coming together. Very good, very good. Alright. We're just waiting on those tomatoes and meatballs and we are almost set for dinner. So I just got the tomatoes out of the oven and they are getting a little bit brown on some of the sides. It's exactly how I love it. And they are insanely good. I mean, how could they not be? They are local tomatoes straight from the oven. Now, what makes this dish so much better than the original restaurant version is as well, is in the restaurant version you would only get 2 ounces of tomatoes. And that would be about 8 diced pieces of tomatoes. And I put the mushrooms in this bowl over here. You would get about 2 ounces if you were getting the larger size. If you're getting the smaller size, you get about 1 ounce of veggies, of each kind of veggie. So we're like, I don't even want to say quadrupling. I mean, it's like 10, 12 times the amount of veggies. And there's so much sauce, you're not going to be short on sauce one bit. And I have 2 pots going of 2 different kinds of noodles because I have 2 different people in my family that are going to be eating it. So it's almost ready. Chock full of veggies, chock full of protein. Meatballs are almost done in the oven and we're almost ready. Alright, it's that time. We got the meatballs out of the oven. Our noodles are finished. We got the penne lentil noodles. High protein. We got our veg here. Mushroom, tomato, roasted to golden perfection. Alright, and we are going to put a ton of veggies in here. Ton of pasta for somebody else in my family, so we will give him the other half of the veggies. So, just letting you know where the rest of the veggies went. And we're going to ladle in our sauce. The original recipe, you only got a few ounces of sauce. In this recipe, I don't even know. I mean, this is probably about, I don't know, 8 ounce ladle, 10 ounce ladle. I don't know. You're going to get a ton of veggies in here. We're going to mix it up. Super creamy. Super chock with veggies. I'm trying to find the best, most appropriate bowl. This is a nice warm bowl. We're going to be using this. And this was about 90 grams of noodles when I weighed it when it was dry. So I did want to weigh it so that I knew how much portion-wise it was. So we can know how many calories we're eating. Alright, and then I'm going to be doing 5 meatballs because that's a serving size. And I am super happy with that. And my dish is smiling too. I see the eyes and the mouth. Yeah, I say it's smiling. Anyways, here is your warm, comforting Penne Rosa with tons of protein, tons of veggies, and is vegan and mostly organic and local. So what more could you want?